Nina.
And Ashley, back with the bullshit.
And this is the Young and Getting It Podcast. Just so you know, you can find us on Apple Podcasts. Just search Young and Getting It Podcast. There's no G at the end of Getting because we're young millennials. Please subscribe, rate, and review. We're also on SoundCloud.com/WeAreYAGIP. Please follow us on there and comment, and we'll comment back. We're also on YouTube. Just search Young and Getting It Podcast with no G at the end of Getting. Subscribe and watch our episodes on there also.
Oh, yeah, you can watch this one for real. And you can also find us on Instagram at YAGIP. Ooh, no. YAGI_podcast. And then we have our website, www.weareyagip.com. And then if you would like to get in touch with us outside of our social medias, you can hit us up on our email, Ashleyandninapod@gmail.com, or you could text or call and leave a voicemail if you're looking at God at 323-486-3811.
And if you're a prisoner, probably not.
Stop. Please stop. We don't want it.
Back to the bullshit.
Okay, so did you hear about?
Okay, let's lock.
Yeah,
in.
we're gonna straight up in that bitch.
Dive down.
Get
dive
in
in
there.
Yep.
Did you hear about the Ivy League scandal?
Okay, I had a feeling that was coming.
Yeah,
it's just been a forefront thing, and it's just like. First of all, this has clearly been happening for years. I watched it firsthand.
Centuries.
I watched firsthand being the only black person out of 4 Americans, being 1% of a graduating class of a private school that cost a little bit too much money.
A little bit.
And all the kids from out of the country, their tuition was even higher because they're international and their parents are paying out of pocket. And it's they're just taking whoever's going to pay, and then they sprinkle a couple normal Americans in there so that
the affirmative action.
It was literally 1 black girl, 2 white guys, and a girl from Brazil.
And it was 2 people. One of the women was a Desperate Housewife actress, and then the other one was from Fuller House. She wasn't even on the. Was she on the original?
She was on the original.
Lori
she was Aunt Becky or Aunt whatever. I remember. What's the other lady's name?
Felicity Huffman.
Felicity Huffman was on American Crime, and that's where I got to know her. And she was on every season until it got canceled, and I really love that show. So I was just like Felicity, but it's I'm watching Empire yesterday, and Jesse's on the show, and it's just seeing this stuff, and I'm just like,
wait, did you know they got him on 16 fucking counts?
Yeah.
I was listening to Vital Information. I was like, wait,
it's excessive.
16?
Yeah, it's excessive.
Are senators even getting that many counts for their
wrongdoings?
And this goes back to when I was talking about how black people get more time than white people for the same crimes they commit, or even lesser crimes.
He went to the courthouse just to discuss cameras being in the courthouse the day of the hearing. So he's he actually didn't need to be there, and he showed up anyway. Yeah, so
you're thirsty, bro.
Yeah, so that's
you're
what we're
fucking.
dealing
How are
with
you
right
still
now.
fucking thirsty? You were thirsty, it backfired, and now you still being thirsty? Quite frankly, I don't understand.
His karma's gonna be fucked up.
But anyway.
But yeah, the Ivy League scandal.
This bullshit, because one of the schools is Stanford. I definitely applied to Stanford and I didn't get in, so I'm a little upset.
Yeah, and that, it's just funny that they got this her daughter
saying, I don't even care about school.
First of all, it's damn, you have 2 million followers off of your mom being on Full House.
Yeah, that's it.
And it's she's an influencer when it's okay. You guys, if someone like her can be an influencer, you guys
anybody can do it.
Follow influencers.
Anybody can do that shit.
Follow people who aren't doing that because they're doing it so they don't have to work. And everyone shouldn't be like that. We need people to work, and it's just, and she went on camera and said, I don't even care about school like that. I'm just came for the parties and the events.
And it's couldn't you have done that off of riding your mother's coattails?
Yeah.
You could have got that same life.
Sure, he had 2 million followers. She just wanted to she didn't want to be
the college experience.
Well, she didn't want to be that bum bitch who's at every college party but isn't in college. Because how they used to talk about niggas who it's
who would lie.
This nigga ain't in school.
Yeah.
Yeah. She didn't want to be. They don't want to be that. They want to be oh, I went to UCLA.
But half the time they don't be graduating.
I mean, these kids I don't care. They have to study some bullshit to graduate. They
don't really have to try hard to graduate.
You have to study communications and get straight C's. You can graduate. Communication and get straight C's, to be clear.
Okay, wow. Do you remember this white girl? I don't remember her name. And she was mad because she didn't get into a school. And she said that, like, basically she was saying that, like, affirmative action is basically the reason that black people are here, and affirmative action is unfair. And, like, she was trying to have this whole trial about how, like, affirmative action wasn't fair. So somebody made a tweet talking about when you can't get into the school you want and blame people of color, only to find out it be your own people. And it's just like other people were saying, like, y'all really thought, like, George Bush went to, was it Harvard? Right? I think it was Harvard. Like, did y'all really think that this nigga went to Harvard off the strength of his education? Like,
George Bush did not belong at Harvard.
Let me see where he went.
Oh my God. It was like Georgetown or Yale. It was one of these schools.
He went to Yale.
I knew it. It was one of these schools. It's same category.
And later Harvard for an MBA? Is this junior? Hold on. We need to see if it's junior.
Wow. We work so hard as regular people just to be given like nothing.
Nigga.
Whereas, and I was talking about that, those are always those people who it's like they go to college, do a bullshit major, get straight C's, their dad gets them a job, and they're making $120,000 after 3 years.
Like back when Kanye was real, he made that song talking about like he made that skit talking about, now I get to be a secretary to a secretary who didn't even go to college. Her dad just like works at the company. And it's just like, yes, that's how shit works. And we know that it works like that. Oh yeah, it was definitely George Bush Jr. He went to Yale and then Harvard Business School. What the absolute fuck?
And my little sister who had a 4.4 GPA. That's crazy. She got like, they send out brochures. Like she was getting brochures from those schools. Yep. They didn't accept her.
Oh, nigga, I got brochures from Stanford. I got some from like, what school is it in Tennessee? It's Vanderbilt. I think.
Okay, yeah.
So I was getting like flyers from all these like upper class schools or whatever. I had a 4.2 GPA. SIT, it wasn't on there. But it's just like my GPA was a 4.2. I took AP classes and I was involved in shit and I still did not get into Stanford.
The only thing I can do is set my kids up where it's like, okay, now that I know, it's like, to get into good clubs in high school, you have to be doing good stuff in middle school, but there's nothing offered. No. So what you do is tell them to find some leadership club. It has to be leadership.
Or like play sports. Like,
yeah, either one or the two. And then outside of there, we'll find a little community service project that we can join so that you get your hours. So when you get to high school and you go in your interview, you say, oh, I did 1,500 hours packing food for the OC food bank. Like I did. And so they get into ASB. And it's like, okay, then you can take even just like a secretary position looks good. Like anything actually looks good in ASB. Like,
and so it's like, do shit.
And then now you have years of ASB experience. And then, or you can add another club in high school. It's like these clubs help. You have to be doing community service and you have to like be in an activity and you have to take like AP courses and you have to get good grades and you have to get a good SAT, ACT.
It's like the whole be 3 times better or work like 3 times harder just to be basically the bottom of the barrel of what white people are. Whatever that Olivia Pope bullshit off of what was that fucking show?
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. I don't watch that shit.
What the fuck was that shit called?
Where she was like having an affair with the president.
What the fuck? People are gonna be so mad at us right now.
But we don't watch that shit.
Scandal. Okay. Took a while.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. But yeah, it's so interesting to me how like white people get mad at us for doing stuff and then they be doing the same shit, but they sprinkle in like a few different things and think that they're doing it so much differently. And it's like, oh yeah, we'll never get caught. Like this is how things have always been. Yeah. And it's just like, y'all are really scamming your way into colleges, complaining about the black people that come there. And it's just like, y'all talking about it's easy for us. Like, no, nothing is easy.
It's actually very hard because like Crystal said, we have the black tax to where when we finish and get our degrees, we still need to pay stuff back. Whereas you just walk out. You walk out debt free. You walk out like with a connection to a job.
Oh, because your dad probably knows the CEO.
I had a white roommate that wasn't doing shit all day. And then before she even graduated, her aunt got her a job somewhere. And it's like, and I could tell by her mentality that she like didn't work for herself. Like she just kind of didn't understand people who have to work hard for the things that they get. We have to work so hard for stuff where other people, they just have one connection. That's why they say it's who you know.
Yeah.
And that's why there's a lot of people that don't go to college, because they're like, what I'm going to do is work for a ton of years, keep rubbing elbows for all these years.
Those connections.
And eventually meet someone who's going to put me in the place that I want to get to. That's why I know so many people that don't go to college because they don't want to go to college, and they have that reason behind why they don't do it. And it's like these kids who could give a fuck about school, whereas there's other kids like giving up their whole life
for school
to make sure they get into school and not getting in, and then finding out that this white girl who doesn't even care about school, her grades were probably trash,
and then she's going to your dream school.
And they superimpose their face on sports people.
Oh yeah,
to make it seem that they never even played the sport. I was like,
I saw that.
They're indicted.
And I didn't think that shit was real. I was like, this has to be fake. Like, there's literally no way that somebody actually physically did this and thought that it was okay.
That's the thing, is like, they're indicted. And when you're indicted, that means the FBI
been watching your
they've
ass.
been watching. And so that little detail is easy for the FBI to be like, you're like, full of shit.
Yeah, it's easy to tell if like a photo has been photoshopped. Like, no matter how good you are at it, somebody knows how to look at a photo and be like, oh yeah, you definitely fucked with this shit.
This just goes back to what I keep saying. Why do people think they can outsmart the FBI? The FBI have been doing this.
And it's because they are criminals. Criminals are always so stupid. Like, they think that they're so smart and they think they can outsmart everybody. Just like when you're listening to My Favorite Murder and it's like you get those fake 911 calls and then the police get there and they're just like, wait, this body is at the bottom of the stairs, yet there's blood all over the house. There's no puddle of blood under her, so she must have bled out somewhere else. So, like, what do you mean she fell down the stairs and then you covered her with this blanket? And then it turns out, like, the husband killed her upstairs, drug her downstairs, and put the blanket on her to keep her warm so that her body wouldn't get cold by the time the police arrived. There is an instance like that. And he was dumb. Like, he thought he outsmarted the police, yeah.
I don't understand why people think they can outsmart the FBI. I will never understand. I mean, you do have to be a certain level of dumb to not comprehend that the FBI do this for a living.
Like,
is figure
they're
out
really about that life.
Your bullshit is small to them. Like, they're trying to like figure out shit from people who are geniuses doing this shit and killing people and stuff. They're struggling on that.
Like, whole organizations that have like a whole program to do shit. Right. You think your little dumb ass doing some Photoshop on some photos so your kids get into a college that they don't even give a fuck about going to.
You were never at a game.
No.
And they can look up past, like, probably, the roster.
Yes.
And be like, your child was never at any of these games. Like, your child has no record. We're going to talk to the coach immediately. And they're going to be like, no, that girl
Unless the coach is their friend, the coach going to be like, oh, yeah.
No, because people fucking talk like a bird.
Right? Because them coaches in college at them good schools, they be getting paid. They like, I'm not about to fuck up my coin for you.
Yeah, it's like, no, she didn't know. No.
You know what? Never seen it. Never heard of that.
Why you think Tekashi started telling on everybody?
He said, wait, I'm going to go to jail?
For 40-something years? Oh, no. Let me tell you who killed about 10 people.
This what happened.
All right, boom.
All right, so boom. Okay, and then
sorry, one detail.
Go ahead.
The Full House lady, whatever her name is, her 2 daughters. One of them, the day after school started, was on a boat was on a yacht in Fiji.
Bitch, how you learning?
That boat was the boat of one of the administrators of the university. You think the FBI can't put them small dots together?
Yeah.
FBI is
like, they be on Instagram just like all those famous, like, no, not famous, like all those wealthy people were gotten on tax fraud because they were lying about how much money they had and they were using Instagram to go look and see what the kids were posting. And their dumbass kids were in their parents' fucking Bentley and then having stacks of cash in the parents' Bentley and taking pictures of it. So they used that in court to say that they lied about the amount of, like, liquid cash that they had.
Ooh.
Yeah. So daddy's little angel is getting them in trouble. And then something we forgot to mention, like, I tapped. Like a fucking few weeks ago was how there's been 2 patients now that have been cured by HIV. I mean, cured of HIV. And I was watching The Breakfast Club and they were talking about it. And he's like, okay, so Magic Johnson's one of them. Who's the other person?
Oh, yeah.
Bitch, I died.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that's so true. We all know that nigga don't got AIDS no more.
Like, nah, bruh. You still married to your wife. You're still smashing.
Cookie still there?
And she ain't caught it?
Lies.
You got
Y'all both been dosed up with some shit.
You are not detectable.
But the 2 people that got cured of HIV, they were like, both of them, I think, had cancer. So they said, well, no, one had cancer, one did not. But they both underwent bone marrow transplants from like individuals that were missing a gene that is needed for HIV to like bind to your DNA and start doing that shit. Yeah, I hope I'm one of those people. Like, first of all, wait, let me never get in contact with HIV.
Right.
But knowing my job, and like sometimes my patients have HIV, and I work with needles.
That's fucking gross.
So it's like, hopefully my DNA is lacking that shit. Yeah. So I'm gonna be fine. Because I really wonder, like, are there people that are immune to HIV? Like,
there has to be.
There's somebody out there. Yeah. Some of them indigenous people that have never left their fucking island, they're immune to that shit. Because they're like, they never had to like look out for it. Right. They was never peeping for it.
But when everyone came from Britain, they did bring a whole bunch of diseases and wipe out a whole bunch of Native Americans just off of being sick. I'm like, y'all niggas is nasty. How you just gonna come over?
And like, this is like sick. A gross generalization, because wasn't like a majority of the disease because they didn't wash their ass?
Oh my God, I don't know.
I just know that like they didn't have aqueducts and shit. Like
they didn't have a purification system.
Yeah,
so everybody was kind of dirty.
Because I told you about how I saw that like old like Romanian toilet, and it was just like a thing of water in the middle, and then like wooden things all around it. And they had the booty hole cut out, of course, so like you could go. And then there was like another hole inside that had like a sponge on a stick that went into the water. And so then like after you get done shitting, you like take the stick and you like dip it in the water and like wipe your ass off.
Oh, no.
I told you about this.
No, you're not sharing that. Oh, no. I thought you were going to say use it to push the shit down to make it flow. Oh, that is not for me. No. Not the public stick.
Yes.
Oh, no.
It was the bust down stick.
Oh,
like,
no.
So everybody used it.
Oh. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's why people was only living to fucking 33.
Like 25 in their prime. They're like, yep, I've lived a long life.
Well, it's been
like,
great.
Honestly, how was niggas dying so young? That's one thing I really, like, I know, like, there was disease and stuff, but, like, how else were they dying young? Because, like, life expectancy used to be real short.
Ours has gone up over time. I mean, like, God, like, please.
That's why, like, our generation, they said we're going to have to work when we get older.
Oh, no.
Like,
sweetie.
We're not, they basically say, y'all ain't retiring.
I'm going to save all my money and move to somewhere cheap.
Nigga, I'll go buy an island.
Yeah, I'm out this expensive shit. That's for you New Yorkers and Florida, the Floridians. I ain't
about this shit.
Hey, if I gotta work, I'm gonna move to motherfucking Kentucky. Fuck y'all. I'm not working. When I'm 60,
I will go rob a fucking bank and go to jail before I work at 65. Because they're not going to keep me in there.
Yeah, if I was poor, I would definitely go to jail. Because they feed you. Like,
they feed you, you got a gym. You could go to school for free. Like, there's a lot of benefits.
Depending on the prison. Because some of these prisons are literally built to find black and Mexican people just to make fucking $100, like $1,000 per head.
I told you, like, the prison that's up the street from my house. Like, when I was listening to My Favorite Murder one time, they mentioned that like one of the prisoners is in Chino Hills prison, and I was just like,
I did hear that one. I was like, oh, they all here?
Yeah, and like that's like, I want to say it's less than 5 miles from my house. So like they could, like, if they got out, essentially they could walk here.
That is the scary thing, is these people really do that.
And they be going, like, a prisoner broke out by my sister's house.
Oh my God.
And was just like around, and of course Carter heard, and I had went to see them on Friday, and he was like, yeah, you know the man with the tattoos, he broke out the jail. Like, that's what he said to me, like, as soon as I saw him.
Tattoos.
Yeah, because I guess he saw the description, and then he was looking at like the news, so they showed like the guy, he's like, yeah, he had on an orange shirt because he didn't know what to call a jumpsuit. Yeah. Okay, so bitch, I was on Instagram stalking like I usually do, like, you know, like when you go on your Explore page and just looking through shit. And so I see Tommy from Love and Hip Hop. And I'm like, oh, let me go like look at her page. Why does this bitch
Why am I recording the episode without my mic in my head?
You're just like, yeah.
And I was like, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but that is so stupid.
I'm about to leave that shit in there.
I'm really tired. Sorry, continue.
So I was like on Instagram, I was on Explore page, and then like I got taken to her page, and so I go on her page. Why does this bitch have a house arrest like anklet on in several pictures?
This the thing is she was on house arrest, but I thought she was off. This bitch is just on.
In the pictures that I seen recently, her crazy ass got the fucking anklet on.
She stays getting arrested.
How
have I never been arrested? How often other people get arrested?
I don't know.
What the fuck?
But it was really fucking funny, and I just wanted to share that. And then I seen a picture, like she was showing videos, I guess of some nigga that died that she knew, and like she was like saying she was gonna miss him or whatever. But she showed one video, like, and it was a video after she had gotten lipo, and he was like changing like the bandages on her body, and then like she goes down and you see like the top of her vagina and like a fucking catheter. And I'm like, girl, sis, honey, why are you putting this on the internet?
Oh man, this bitch is crazy.
She has a problem. Like, I get it. He was taking care of you. You loved him. I guess he did. I don't know. I didn't do a lot of research.
Is it Scrap?
No.
Oh shit.
It was some light skinned Mexican ass looking nigga with long hair.
Oh shit. Yeah.
So clearly she likes niggas with long hair, but yeah. I just saw that and I was like, honey.
You know she's the girl on the Bad and Bougie thing?
Yeah. You know she's friends with Sky.
Yeah.
That makes all the sense. Sadly,
they don't never need to be on no show together.
Never need to be together.
Like, but in real life, people don't fight like that. They don't get. Oh, well, okay. Let me stop because a lot of them
bitch on house arrest.
They get in a lot of trouble outside of the show. Yeah,
think about it.
Sky doesn't, but I mean, she still does. Them together is scary.
Yes.
Sky's really like rubbing shoulders with the right people because she's like really like
she's popping.
She's really popping.
I just hope Tommy doesn't start drinking again because she was very embarrassing on Love and Hip Hop when she was drinking.
Needs to not.
I just know a lot of people need to stop drinking. Sadly.
Yeah.
General consensus: a lot of people need to stop drinking.
Yeah.
As we were drinking, but we know how to fucking control that shit. Okay.
No, like it's crazy because it's like people really be going to rehab. People really, and it's like, damn, stop.
Yeah, people really be drinking like every day.
When other people recognize anything is a problem is when it's like
it's a problem.
Okay.
Yeah. And or when like people comment on you being different.
And various people.
From other
all over places.
Or like you
talk
life. To somebody and you be like, yeah, like if someone comes up to you like, yeah, I noticed that such and such does this when they drink. And you just be like, okay, so I'm not crazy because I was thinking that I noticed that was like a habit too. Like it was like every time this happens.
Yeah.
Like, and then you're like, okay, so I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
But it's just like a lot of people like I was thinking about this week. Like it's really sad that like majority of the time when people think about hanging out with their friends, they be like, oh yeah, we're gonna go get fucked up, man, we're gonna go drink, we're gonna go party. And it's just like, do y'all ever do any activities that don't involve y'all getting fucked up before going to be friends? Like weed, I don't care if you smoke weed before you do anything, but the fact that like every pretense of an event is like, oh, let's get drunk first, like let's drink first, or like let's take these pills first, or like let's drink fucking lean first. Like to me, I'm just like, that's real sad, like that people really don't just like hang out with other people and hang out with
simple
other
as that.
Yeah.
Like you don't need other stuff with you.
No.
I'm the type of person to smoke by myself before I even meet up with people.
Me
and
too.
I'm just like, it's good.
Like I'm gonna be hitting the vape in the car before I get there.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna go and be like, oh yeah, no, we gotta smoke first. Like I remember when we were in high school, not in high school, in college, I would get so mad at the two people that I would hang out with all the time because they were always like, oh, let's smoke first. I'm like, no, like I don't want to go to the event smelling like fucking weed. Like I don't want to smell like smoke. I hate smelling like smoke. Yeah. Like we could wait. And they're like, no, let's just do it. And like I would really like throw a hissy fit and like get out the car and stand out the side of the car until they finish smoking. And then I would get back in. Like, and it's just like, I don't know. I want want us to be different. Like, I don't want people like just to be hanging out with the pretense like, oh, are we gonna drink? Like, we're gonna get fucked up.
Yeah.
But like, that's the weekend mentality at this point. It's like, oh, the weekend's here. It's time to drink. It's time to get fucked up before I have to go back to work.
There's one girl like that's like just an acquaintance friend that I want to invite to my birthday, but I'm like her interaction with alcohol isn't something.
It's a turn off.
It would turn off everybody.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't want to be the person who has to give her a talk and then she does it anyway.
Right.
You know, that's what happens when you deal with people who are much younger than you, you know. So.
That's why you just avoid it. In general, you just avoid it. Like, I'm sorry. Like, especially if it's my birthday.
Yeah.
I fuck you. I don't care.
Yeah.
You could be mad.
I'm like, you're just sorry.
Like, I'm sorry, I don't want my energy fucked up in my birthday party.
Yeah,
so
I ain't babysitting nobody.
Could you just, Oh, fuck no.
Especially because I want to go to Mexico. That's a place where we need to babysit each other.
Oh, yeah.
So I ain't babysitting
I ain't
y'all.
watching shit.
I'm going to do a surface level friend babysitting that
like,
you do when you go to Mexico.
That's what you like. You good?
Right. Okay. You fine?
Everybody
right?
here?
We here?
Cool.
Head count? That's it. That's the babysitting I'm doing because we're in a different country.
But if you think I'm about to be taking care of your grown ass,
no.
You got me fucked up.
No. You need to control that. Yeah. And it's not cute. It don't even feel good. Well, it does when you're in the moment, but after, nah.
No, you be drunk sometimes and that shit don't even feel good.
I always feel good when I'm drunk.
Really?
But
not when I get the spins.
I don't get the spins. I smoke and drink because I like it. You know, like I balance them because I like them together.
I think the only time I successfully did it recently, like since I passed the age of 25, was at Dion's wedding.
Oh yeah,
that's the only place I balanced it.
I was drunk,
nigga. I was drunk.
I'm like, I can't even say balance. I mean, I guess I wasn't an asshole
and
like a dumbass.
I'm like, I don't even know how I got drunk, but I was.
No, that's the thing. Before our friend Dion's wedding, before we even did the procession into the dining hall, the entire bridal and groomsmen party was faded. Drunk. It's a line of like 12 of us, man, woman. We're all out of it. Like, and
like,
they're
you
like,
told me, like, yeah, it was so cute how you guys walked in. And I was like, wait, how did we walk in? What happened?
Me and Randall had a whole plan, didn't do it. And we made a whole, like, did half of it, and it just was gone from there. Like, we were faded. And then it was open bar for, like,
their signature drink and for beer and wine.
And the thing is, the signature drink was fire.
It was
a Moscow Mule. Yep. That's one of my things.
A Moscow Mule and then
it was something no.
I get it all the time.
Old fashioned.
Yes.
Old fashioned.
No. It wasn't old fashioned.
Wasn't it?
It was a French Connection.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Because I'm like, I get this shit all the time.
I had one Moscow. Once I had that one Moscow, I said, "Oh, I'm drunk." And then we started drinking more when we went back into the bridal suite.
Them potatoes saved my life, though.
Them potatoes was fire.
Niggas was really going and getting platefuls of potatoes. Like, I seen several people getting potatoes only. But I'm like, they saved my life. They saved my life.
It was fly. I was full. That cake was fire. Fire.
I'm mad I ain't eat no cake. I don't know what happened.
My stomach hurt by the time I was eating the cake. I just wanted to taste it. I had so much alcohol in my stomach.
Yeah.
Like,
that's why I ordered pizza at the end of the night. I was like, because if I don't eat, I'm gonna throw up.
Oh my god, did I even eat? No.
Ooh. I was eating pizza like when you came back and knocked on my door and you were all pissed off because you were like, we went to so many places. You're like, I'm not drunk anymore.
Oh yeah. I sobered up. That was so stupid. The people who were like, oh, let's go to the other restaurant, got to the other restaurant, and then they left.
Yep. Skirt.
I was like, what do you have? What are we doing? I'm leaving. Like, no, that was so stupid. That was a fun night, though.
Yeah.
That was really fun. Sorry for the sidebar.
Yeah, so sorry. That was a good time. That was a highlight of 2019. So
definitely.
Okay, the last thing that I found, I wanted to talk about this as usual, and I fucking forgot, is when the 4 12-year-old girls who were black were questioned and strip searched by the principal and assistant principal and school nurse, because they seemed giddy during the lunch hour and were suspected of possessing drugs.
Nigga, I didn't hear about this story. Where was this shit at?
It was in New York, and the school denied that the girls were strip searched, and Yeah.
Who's lying? Who's lying? Because we know how the story goes. We can't trust nobody. It might be true, might be false. Except when it's about the Kardashians, it's always fucking true.
Oh.
Other than that.
Yeah, and the main pretense of them being searched is because they were happy. Pretty much, like, from reading this article,
so Black Girl Joy was suspicious.
Yes.
You looking happy is questionable. Why
at
are you
lunch,
happy?
like, why are you happy at lunch when you're with your friends that you like?
These white girls over here are laughing and giggling and talking shit and talking to boys. But why are you black girls happy? What did you do? Mm-hmm. Because black people are only happy when they're up to something. Mm-hmm. That's their perception. Full of shit.
Yeah, they were instructed to remove their clothing and felt ashamed, humiliated, and traumatized by the experience, said a statement distributed by the group at the meeting. There's some school board meeting they had.
They're going to cash up.
Oh, I hope they cash up.
They do. I don't know how true the story is, though. I don't really trust nobody no more. So the girls could be lying, and their parents could be like, "Are you lying?" And they're like, just like the Wade Robson thing, like,
"Yeah,
oh no, I'm not lying. Okay, we'll vouch for you. Then we're gonna go in for you." And it's like, fuck, this thing is all to get money. But I'm not saying that's true. I'm just, people feel that same way about R. Kelly too. Like, people are in it for money. But
I don't want to talk about him.
I know.
He just pisses me off. That whole thing pisses me off. Let them girls be with that man.
Yeah.
At this point. Just take him to court for the tapes and let them girls be with that man. Parents give up. You got 2 other fucking kids. Like, one of the parents got 2 other fucking kids.
And those kids are going to be fucked up because you spent years.
Yeah, it's just like when you're watching those movies when the kids like, you always treated better. Yeah. You never treated me better.
Focus on those kids.
Like, you don't want your kids growing up and hating you because you cared about a kid that didn't want to be with you. Like,
what does that tell them?
Yeah. Like, you'd rather have the kid that wants to run away?
Yeah. No.
Oh, I was watching this documentary on some little white girl that went missing, and like her parents were from like Britain, and they went on vacation to like Italy or like Spain or some shit. And these dumbasses, they went to dinner every night and left all the kids in the room sleeping in their like apartment. That's what they call like the hotels out there, or they bought the apartment.
Okay.
And so like it was 500 yards distance. No, 500 feet between, like, the restaurant they ate at and the apartment. My nose. Sorry, guys, allergies. And so, like, every 20 to 30 minutes, they would, like, do rotating shifts of going to check on the kids. And then they go and check one time, and one of the kids is missing. But, like, these niggas left the door unlocked and left the kids in their sleep. And, like, they couldn't see the door from where they were at.
Somebody was watching, and eventually they came into
and snatched the fucking kid. And then, like... The family had 2 other kids too in this instance, and like they did this whole fucking shenanigans. Like, they looked for this girl for over a fucking year, and I don't think they ever found the bitch because I fell asleep because I was she's a little girl. I don't think they ever found the child, but like I fell asleep on it because I was bored. Like, because they were like, if this was anybody else, like if this was not a little blonde white girl, would we look for her as hard?
Nope.
No. And then there were, like, instances, too, at the same time where other kids, like, they were supposed to be going to get on the bus for school. They never got on the bus. They never came home, and they went missing. But they did not get as much attention as the blonde little white girl with the blue eyes and the birthmark in her blue eye. Like, in the thing, they said the little girl's still missing. I said, oh, fuck. This happened she got abducted in 2007.
Oh, she ain't alive?
She did.
Yeah.
She did.
We listened to enough My Favorite Murder to know
Or she's in somebody's basement getting abused, and she will be found dead later.
Right.
Like that girl, remember? She got kidnapped, went missing, and then they found a skull, and it was her 13 years later, and she was, like, aged. Like, the whole 13 years and had just died. Tragic.
Yeah.
May God be with you.
Man, that scares me.
Yeah. All right, you ready for commercial break?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey guys, so I want to interrupt the conversation really quick to give a shout out to a great Black business of the week. So this is by Chef Diamond McNulty, who has made Chef Diamond and Friends healthy eating cartoon series. This has also written books like How to Become a Successful Young Man and How to Become a Successful Young Woman.
Important.
Yeah, it's a workbook to help kids create their own personal success. and he is at McNulty International on Instagram. Chef Diamond McNulty has raised over $25,000 for at-risk inner-city kids in Chicago and spends the majority of his time empowering kids to eat healthy and succeed in life. I saw that he made a book also called I'm Pretty Too. And it's like a workbook to start to grow the self-love and to build yourself. So shout out to Chef Diamond McNulty. He is at McNulty International. We'll have that in the description on Instagram. His book at Chef Diamond and Friends, also on Instagram. And you can also purchase his copy at webuyBlack.com/McNulty International. And back to the conversation.
Message.
All right, everyone. Welcome back to the show. So we're going to open up this half with some questions that we got from Tumblr. Man, when I saw this question, I was just like, damn, I don't even know how to answer this shit.
Oh, God.
It's like, it's not like it's that bad, but it's just like, I just really don't know. So I don't know how to say your name. Lev Rotha. Levaratha. I don't know.
Okay.
He said, what's the ultimate goal of your podcast?
Oh, I remember seeing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought about it like briefly when I saw it and I knew it was going to come up on the podcast. I completely forgot. Like ours is like joint and separate. Like we're our own people, but then we have a joint, obviously. I feel like the mission of the podcast is to educate people on the different avenues they can take in their life. That's why we've had like comedians or athletes or business owners or the completely different fields. People who got famous off of Instagram. Yeah, that's one of the things. True. That's one of the pathways. King Vader. Yeah, it's like it's so many different ways that you can become successful. But as you've noticed, a underlying theme has always been like consistency. If you give up, obviously you're not going to win. You have to continue to win. And so it's like, it's to show people that it's possible. But we are two people who went to college. So it's also to be like, we know what college will do for you too. It's just if you have the will, just like you can't go to rehab if you don't want to go. I mean, you can't get clean if you don't want to go to rehab. Yeah, you'll go because people pushed you in, but you'll just relapse because it wasn't in your heart. So it's kind of like the same thing. Like we want people to know that you have options in your life. You're not capable of everything. You're capable of many things. And it just depends on your work ethic. And obviously, I also want people to see my journey. So it's like, I'm so young. And when we were younger, we thought this was an older age. But it's like, I'm so early, like re-entering a new career. So it's like to show people, I already know where I'm going to be. It's like not even a cocky or anything way. It's like I'm being humble about it. I'm just like, living my life. So I just want people to see where I came from and where it can go. And hopefully it'll inspire like generations, or people will at least, lead the next generation to do similar things. I know that was long-winded.
Yeah. But. And then just to add, like, I know I want to get from the podcast is being more comfortable with the unknown. So it's just like, podcasting is unknown to us. We didn't know what the fuck to do. Like when we first started, we didn't know how to operate a podcast.
And now we're popping. We're doing this episode on our own.
Right. And then like not a lot of preparation went into it as to what, like when we first started, there was a lot of preparation that went into it. And like, we had to learn how to do a lot of stuff. Yeah. So like
still learning.
Exactly. So when I'm saying like just being more comfortable with the unknown, that could be made like in everything that you experience in life. Like when you get another job, that's being uncomfortable with the unknown. Like when you leave a job you're comfortable with and go to a whole new job, that's being comfortable with the unknown. Because you don't know if that job is going to work out or if that job is not going to work out. You just have to have faith that like, hey, as long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, shit's going to work out. Yep. And so like, that's kind of how it is with the podcast. Like when we interview people, we're just like, sometimes we're just like, I don't know how this shit's going to work out. Like, I don't know how this interview is going to go. I don't know if this episode is going to be a good episode. And we literally have no fucking choice but to release that shit or not release that shit and then start becoming inconsistent. Right. And then it's just like, well, damn, now we're not practicing what we preach. Right. You know? Yep. And then that's another thing with the podcast too. It helps you like realize what you say and what you do. Because like there are some things like we say on here and then we don't do them. And then there's some things that we do on here and we actually, like, we say that we do on here or we're going to do them and then we actually do them. So it's just like, it is also a form of accountability. And like, if you want to be successful, you do have to hold yourself accountable for all things good and bad. So like, it's a good way to see, like, am I really living up to what I'm saying I'm doing? And then it's great to like inspire people, because like I have people, like, I was thinking about this the other day, like how people be like, oh yeah, like I see you out here, you doing it, and I'm just like, what am I doing? Like, what?
And to get it, like, getting older, we're getting it in different facets, because you know, people used to say that to us when we were in our undergrad degree. Then people start say it in our master's degree. People say it when we got our first corporate job, or yours is corporate, so or got our first corporate job, you know, like, so it's like, okay, we're doing many things to keep, you know, making people be like, oh man, you're really doing it. It's like, am I?
Like, wait, what? Huh? I'm doing what?
Am I?
Like, because it's like when people like tell me stuff like about like what I'm doing, like I know that I'm doing it, but it's just like, since it's me and like I know this isn't the highest level I want to attain, I don't see it as me doing big things. I'm like, oh, like I'm doing something, but it's not like that something, like, you know, it's just like, this is just what I'm doing now because I know later I'm gonna be at a different point,
right?
So it kind of does help you to like just get confidence back in yourself, like it help you step back and realize like, shit, I am doing something, like especially when you think about us, like in comparison to like people that graduated high school with us, we doing something.
Right.
We are doing something
different. Took a lot of introspection though.
Yeah.
Shit. I'm proud.
Yeah. So like, I guess for the goal for it, like, I know I do want my own studio. I don't know if you want your own, but like,
yeah, that would be awesome.
It would be great to have my own studio, because like I told Rashad, like I love music. I don't know if I'm ever gonna do anything with it, like, because I used to be in band. I used to be a fucking band geek. Like, I really like music, so it's just like, to have my own studio, that'd be nice. Yeah. So it's not like that I'm specifically saying I would like to get famous from the podcast. Like, you know, that's a plus, but that's not the primary goal. And I think that's what people expect to hear when they ask you, oh, like, what's your goal, like, with the podcast? It's just like, no, overall, the most generalized stupid fucking answer is, I want to be happy. That is the goal of the podcast, for me to be happy.
Yeah, and for everyone else to be happy, because we really, like, I wish we knew more about like depression and anxiety and shit, because then we would be less depressed and anxious. I mean, not everyone.
Like, what can I do?
Yeah, because it's like some things happen and it's like we just don't understand, and that's why we end up in a down place. And it's like, when you get an understanding of how this world works, which is like full of depressing shit, you know, like the world is just full of it, you know, like it just is, then it makes it easier to handle all the shit that goes on in this world. And so it's cool. And
like, speaking of depression, I remember I was listening to the most recent Vital Information episode, and Erin was talking about how like she was down and stuff, and I was like, bitch, you know what? I was too, and I didn't even fucking realize it. That's how that shit sneaks up on you. Like, you don't even realize like you've been depressed for this like long ass amount of time until you come out of it and you're just like, wait, I feel happiness today.
Yeah, it's like
I actually feel emotions. Like, that's when you're just like, damn, bitch, like, how long have you been this way and didn't even fucking catch yourself being depressed for you to get out of it? Because like, you really have to recognize that you are before you can even like get out of it. And then the moment you recognize you are, I feel like that's like when it becomes the easiest to snap out of it. And like, one way that I didn't realize that I was is like, I was not working out. I always knew, like, when I get depressed, like, if I go to the gym, I always feel better. So it's like, I know that I always have to work out or I will feel like a piece of shit. And it's just like, so I had to start like timing myself differently on like things that I was giving my attention to. Like, I was giving my attention a lot to work. I was giving my attention a lot to school. And it was like that. When you went to school and you were working, you stopped working out too, and you fucking suffered. And like, I'm like, oh, I'm seeing that same shit now. I'm like, let me get back in the gym. And like, thank God to fucking people. And somebody recommended to me to get the Go app. I don't know if, like,
it's like it was it was like school and work was a lot, but school and work wasn't. Well, I don't even consider that I suffered, but school and work wasn't the reason. It was my depression that did it.
Yeah, because you get overwhelmed.
But those things, that's the thing about my like depression is like the shit isn't linked. My shit is like, it just is depression.
Yeah.
It is its own thing. When I think about what caused it, it wasn't school or work. I think it's more of just like, it's very situational and depression is like very deep, so part of you doesn't know until you go to like the best therapist, because some therapists are trash. It takes so much to figure out why, but I kind of feel like you have to do things intentionally and do things the right way, and I feel like the way I was doing things with my health was not the right way. I feel like I was taking more of like the idea of like starving and like not eating, and it's like that's not healthy. I was not healthy, and because of that I rolled right into a depression and then bounced right off of it. I feel like especially for people who struggle with their weight, it's like, please fast, and that's fine, that's great and stuff, but do not starve yourself. Like if you want to eat, please eat, because you will be a happier person.
That, or don't let your depression make you not eat, because like I know when I get depressed I lose my appetite. Like, I just don't eat at all, and so it's just like my weight fluctuates. Like it'll be like between looking healthy and then between looking like unhealthy as fuck, because it's just like once I get depressed it's just like I don't have appetite anymore. Nothing is good to me. Nothing satisfies me. Like
that's only happened to me once before, and I did lose a shit ton of weight.
What do you think happened in fucking college? Remember when I got all skinny? Like that was definitely depression. It was like I think it was like my sophomore year. I just started losing hella weight. Like I even went to the doctor and everything. They're like, yeah, all your labs are normal. Like everything is fine.
You're stressed.
And it was just like, they were like, well, maybe it's stress. And I'm like, no, it can't be. It definitely fucking was.
That shit, depression is just, it's like funny that we tangented onto it, because mental health is such a big part of our podcast. Also, we didn't even talk about that when it comes to like heavily on like what we want, how we want to impact. It's like, no, mental health is real.
That's important. Y'all need to be aware.
Depression and anxiety is very real, and you need to be able to identify it fucking immediately, because it's like, you can live with it. Like I would love to live with it with no medication. There's a lot of people on medication. There's nothing wrong with that. I just would prefer to live without changing the chemicals. I want whatever's going on in my head
to stay there.
Do that.
Do your thing.
Even if that includes having onsets of depression, do that. Like I don't want to start changing shit in there and then I become like not me.
Like how Kanye was saying like the pills limited his creativity, and like that I could definitely understand. Like if I was prescribed to take Xanax, like a full pill every day, I'm not functioning. Like I'm not gonna be able to do it.
I take one Xanax a year,
right? Like every couple of months maybe, and I have to be severely stressed out to even fucking take that shit. Man. Like it's so funny, like super like tangent. Like I was talking to Rashad, and he was like, we were talking about like murdering somebody, and we're like, I was like, yeah, I couldn't do that. I'd be like too fucking anxious. He's like, yeah, because you're that way all the time. And I'm just like, nigga, I didn't know you caught that, but okay. Because it's like, you know, like with mental health issues, like you think that you're not acting different, but like the people that are close to you and are around you can tell that you are acting different. Yeah. And not everybody is like comfortable calling you out on it. Like, yo, you're acting different.
Yeah, it's always the close friends who are like, let me just
it's just like, let me just step back. In a few months, we're going to realize, like, yo, you was tripping. Like, when you used to trip. Like, you would be texting me 50,000 things at a time. And then I would just be like, no. Like, if you were, like, having an anxiety attack or something, and, like, you're texting me, like, 50 million things at a time. And I'm just like, just take a step back from it. Calm down. And you're like, I can't take a break right now. And I'm like, you need a break.
Oh yeah, and you know what's really fucked up about that? It's like I remember it, but I kind of don't.
Yeah,
that's the fucked up part. It's like, but I remember it, but it's like that's how into it I was in that moment. That it's like I remember that happening, but it's like I don't remember that moment because it's just like blackout. This, I mean, it's kind of sucks because it's like we promote people going to school, and
but
it's
that
like
shit is so stressful.
My school never caused it. My school got in the way. It's like I need to deal with this. Move, you know, like that was the only thing.
It's like you can't focus on caring about your health.
That's what the issue was, because it was like school was gonna be school. I always hate school, never like school.
It's just how it is.
You know, like same old since I was 4. You know, like since they started teaching
I
us
would
shit.
always fake sick so my mom would come pick my ass up.
Yeah, if we were sick, our parents would still make us go to school.
Oh,
So
we
it's
would
like,
go to school, but I would call her, be like, yeah, mom, I don't feel
No, see,
good.
my parents wouldn't pick us up.
Really?
No.
My mom was
No.
nice. She would come get me.
I had perfect attendance by default. I had perfect attendance like every year.
Yeah.
Because my parents would not let me leave. Yeah. It was like, what sickness, huh? What?
You what?
You sick? Is your test done? Did you finish is your homework done? Or you have the flu? But did you finish that assignment? That's how life was. So it's like, but that's the thing. You're tired, you're exhausted, mentally exhausted, and it is still in the way.
Mm-hmm. You have to do it.
It doesn't go anywhere. That's why I hate school so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I know
like
people
why
hate
do
school.
like why do professors and teachers take points off for late assignments? Like, I feel like you do not know what a child is going through at home. Like, if it's late, it has to be like a bona fide reason for it to be late. Like, because oftentimes I don't feel like even if you're a procrastinator, you will wait till the last second to do it, but odds are it's not going to be late. You know,
one thing I genuinely hated like about myself in college, I like every once in a while I would genuinely miss an assignment. Like,
oh, really?
I'd be like, what?
That's the worst feeling.
That happened to me, like, and I remember it because I would get infuriated every time. How the fuck am I missing these assignments? How did I not know? Like, and I'm sure it was part of like my anxiety, me being over here in my mind, like, let me deal with this thing, and the teacher's probably telling us about the assignment, and I'm just like, what?
Like how that Cardi B video last year was talking about how she'd be dissociating, basically.
That
like,
face.
you could be talking to me.
She was like. And I was like, bitch, you read my life.
Right.
Because it's like, I'm so disconnected. Sometimes I'm like, wait, what? What did he say? That face she made, I was like, that's
I'm
mood.
like, girl, bitch, I feel you.
Yes. My friend sent that to me and she was like, my nigga.
That's
like,
me at work. When these niggas be talking to me, I just be like, I be having a whole fucking different conversation in my fucking head.
My car?
I be like, man, what am I eating when I leave?
I'm hungry as fuck.
I'm hungry. We've been here for 10 hours.
This one nigga talking too much. People
what you so loud for?
This one girl at work was like, I know I talk too much, but I mean, like,
man, shut the fuck up.
And then her friend was like, yeah, and she was like, you're saying, yeah, that I talk too much? And I just started laughing. I'm like, yeah, bitch, you talk too much. Shut up, nigga.
Like, we really hate that people talk too much. Like, I was thinking about it. I'm like, yo, bitch, you're really antisocial. Like, you need to start being a little bit more social because you could get more places if you're more social. But I'm just like, when I thought about it, because I was like, yeah, I do need to hit some people up. But, like, when I think about it, I don't feel like being bothered.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like a very hard thing to break. Like, I do not believe people are people. Like, you know how people are like, oh, I'm a people person.
People used to be.
No. Now, people learn how to tolerate people as long as they have to get what they want.
Yeah.
That's it.
That kind of ties into my Look at God. Are you ready for Look at God?
Let's,
or did you have something else?
No, we could do Look at God.
Okay. But yeah, that really ties into my Look at God for this week. My Look at God isn't really like a look at God. It's kind of more just like a progress thing. Like, look at God for, you know, like being able to help people, because that's really cool. And it's like, ultimately, it's like, as a child of God, it's like you're supposed to care about other people and not be like selfish or material and stuff like that.
Give begrudgingly.
Yeah.
Or whatever that shit be saying.
Exactly. And it's like, so one thing is like my nicknames at both my jobs, I didn't make them up. People just started calling me that shit. At my waitressing job, my nickname is Pepperdine. And at my bank job, my nickname is CEO. Okay. So I'm like, these are good. These are good ties that you're making. And it's not like I talk about my education. People ask me. And it's like, so it's like, it's good that that's the tie you're making. But it's also like the responsibility. Like, my boss at the bank is the one who calls me CEO. You know, so it's kind of like he expects more out of me, which is more pressure. But at the same time, it's like he's preparing me to do an even higher level of work. He's already, like, I've always said, like, he's giving us an experience where I'm like, thank you. Like, I told him thank you, even though we're swamped and it's gonna be on me for us to fucking finish. I'm like, you're giving us a whole bunch of shit. He's giving us a whole bunch of different classes we can do online that ends with a certificate. So now I can say I'm certificated on a whole bunch of stuff whenever the fuck I find time to do it. Like, he told me, because I don't have days off anymore. I work Monday to Monday. And so, like, he was like, you need to take a day off at some point. And I told him, my boss gave me a day off in 9 days. So I'm good. Like, I'll be off in 9 days. Like, by the time you guys hear this will probably be like my 14th day without a day off, which is fine because, you know, money, student loans. And so my look at God is like learning how to be a better manager at my job, like, because I am managing kids and their attitudes are like, what the fuck, dude? I hate when people bring feelings to work. So, you know, that's just one thing. So look at God that I'm having the opportunity to grow my skills as a manager, because especially for me as a person who have hated the methods of my managers, as in like their methods of managing are just horrible. And it's like,
I feel you.
I can't be complaining and then want to be in the same position and not do better. So it's like, look at God that I'm in the position to do so, but also look at God that it's like, I'm still up, even though I'm fucking tired. Like, I'm still up. I'm not complaining. I'm always grateful. I'm always happy. Like, I'm not blowing my money. Like, I'm not talking about my money like that either, because it's funny, because at my job, they just said this today. They're like, Nina believes in money karma. And it's like, yeah, I told them, I said, when people are like flashy, or not flashy, but like cocky or overly confident about their money, that's when they lose that shit. And they've noticed it at my job, to the point of like, if money's on the floor, instead of grabbing it, I'll be like, we need to find out whose this money is. Or my coworker who's trying to fuck with me today and be like, Nina, you shorted me on a tip. I said, I didn't. And I'm so sure. Yeah. Because I don't. You know, like, you people will be like, oh, because you can tip off of tips. No one knows how much you made. And so, like, today, I made a good amount, and I could take off like $80 off of that and tip them off of the remaining balance, but it's like, no, I tip off the full. So if anyone comes up to me like, Nina, I think you shorted me, I'll be like, I didn't. Go check the records. I didn't. So go ahead. I'll let you know, because it's like, I believe in the karma of like, don't be trying to steal nobody's money. Don't be materialistic with your money. Materialism is of the devil in the first place anyway. So it's like, be careful. Like, just save your money, student loans, bills, live a simple life, like, have fun, be happy. Like, yeah, you can be tired, that's okay, but you don't need to like be miserable. But I can't change it. I cannot change the shit. Oh my
God, that's what I was telling somebody about, like, somebody at my job. I was like, they just need to accept it. Like, this is how shit is, and you can't change it. If you want it to change, you have to get a different job. Like, you have to leave. There's literally no point in complaining about anything anymore. Do your fucking part, and then go home and forget about it. Like, why are you trying to make things harder for everybody else because you're miserable? Yeah. I don't understand.
Misery loves company.
Yeah, and I'm not about to be up in that bitch with you.
Yeah.
But okay. Yeah, that's I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm like, sorry if I interrupted you.
No, that was basically it's just like being in a peaceful place.
Yeah. Mine is taking like I remember how Randall was talking about how you have to take the small victories, and like that's definitely what I have been doing, because like in my line of work, it's easy to complain, it's easy to be frustrated, it's easy to be annoyed, but like I literally told myself, look, bitch, stop complaining, just go do it, and then like take the little wins that you get, like, because like, for example, like I went to a facility I don't always work at. When you do that, like, odds of the staff being mean to you are very high, but like they was cool, and I was like, all right, that's my small victory for today. Like, the staff was fine. And then I know, like, at one hospital, like, I misheard like a surgeon, and I sounded like a complete idiot, and I was like, you know what, I don't care. They're not gonna remember who I am. They don't even remember my name. And if I come back, I could like revise the mistake, but whatever. Like, let those people think what they want to think. Like, at the end of the day, patient was okay, and I still collected my paycheck. That's all I care about. Yeah. Like, I don't care about them and their opinions. And then look at God, like, I guess I got my creativity back, because like I know for a long time, like, I was in a slump of not making anything artistically, but like this week I definitely did not do my homework one day because I was like, fuck that shit. I want to be happy. Yeah, like sometimes you really just gotta say, fuck that shit. I want to be happy and go for it. And that's what I did. And like, so I like drew something. Like it's been like this piece I've been working on for forever, and like I kept giving up on it because it wasn't coming out how I saw it in my head. So like I worked on a part that I knew I would be better at, so that I could get some type of like small like type of gratification that would make me feel better about tackling the rest of it. And like it turns out like it's weird, like, because things always come to me in my sleep. Like, I remember when I was in high school, like, I would get, like, a math problem, and, like, I wouldn't be able to figure it out. And, like, I'd go to sleep and wake up the next morning. And, like, in my sleep, I would figure out how to do it and then go do it in the morning. And so, like, that same type of thing happened with the piece of art that I was trying to create. I was like, well, you know what? It doesn't have to be like this. You could do it like this, and it would actually look way doper than the way that you originally planned how to do it. So I don't know. I guess I'm just like learning how to take time with myself, and then learning how to say fuck it to some stuff. Like, I want to be happy. Like, at the end of the day, I'm the most important person. Sorry. So whatever it takes for me to be happy, I'm going to do that shit. So, and not at like saying like I'm going to do it at the harm of other people. But if it's like I got to choose whether I'm going to take time out my day to go attend something with somebody, or if I'm going to stay home and like work on myself, I'm going to stay home and work on myself.
Or just like if you need sleep, and it's like I have a birthday. That happened to me when I was in school. It's like there's my friend's son's first birthday party, and I was just tired, and
it be like that.
I just went to sleep.
And like I was on call this weekend, so my friends did her birthday party the other day, and like I couldn't even go, but I was like, realistically, I needed to be at home. So like I feel like God was like, yeah, you're gonna be on call this weekend, like, because you're exhausted, like you need to be here, like. And I literally just stayed at home, watched YouTube videos, because that's what I've been doing heavily lately, and just like learning new things, and hopefully getting over this fucking sinus shit, and then relaxing. And then that's what I want to say, like when we went to church today, like the pastor was basically talking about like step out of your comfort zone and step into faith. And so like I started like practicing my YouTube videos again, because remember I was supposed to do YouTube a long fucking time ago.
Yoga or hair?
Hair.
Okay. And
then like that, but yoga's coming too, because I'm like, I have this fucking at home fucking gym that's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And I just got a camera for fucking free.
Yep.
Like I can go do my yoga and record it my fucking self, and then edit that shit and put it on YouTube. I can record myself doing hair and put that shit on YouTube. Like, because just for me, like I don't even care about going on YouTube pages for like the likes and like how much prestige the person has. Watching hair for me is therapeutic. Like when you see a nice clean silk press, when you see some nice clean box braids, like that does something to my spirit. Like I feel it. So it's just like, if I could bring that joy to other people, my purpose is served. Like, so yeah, it just inspired me, because I know like with YouTube, I was like, I'm uncomfortable, like this is out of my comfort zone, like I don't do this, like I feel weird, and I don't want people to think like, oh, you're just another girl on YouTube, like. And it's just like, you know what, fuck that. Like
they could have felt that way about the podcast, and it's like, nigga,
I don't give a fuck.
Ain't nobody's like us.
No,
we are our own thing.
Yes. And like, and we make our own sacrifices to be here,
and we're not putting our booty in the camera for followers.
Ain't twerking. And then we don't have a like, no diss to y'all with the sexual podcast, we don't have a sexual podcast,
right? Yeah.
And we don't even really talk about sex like that.
We don't.
Like, that's just,
y'all don't need to know.
No, it's not our, like that's not what we want to share with y'all.
Exactly. Very true.
But
in the future, if we're super successful and we're very stable and we can talk about shit like that now can get you fucking fired.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, now we just keep our work and fucking podcast separate. Period.
But yeah, like, so I'm stepping out of my comfort zone, but you know, we're just gonna do the damn thing.
Moving, positivity, loving life.
I think that's a good motto to have.
Yeah. For a second, I was like, do we have another segment for this?
Yeah, we gotta say this fucking shit and go.
I was like, what is it? It is Apple Podcast. All right, you guys.
Your ass needs some sleep.
Oh man. We can't even talk about how little sleep I've had. We're almost there. Just so you know, you can find us on Apple Podcasts. Just search Young and Getting It Podcast. There's no G at the end of Getting. Please subscribe, rate, and review. We're also on SoundCloud.com/WeAreYAGIP. Follow, comment on there, and thank you for all the followers from all over the world. We do track and see, and we're just like, what? That's amazing. Thank you. And we've crossed over 20,000 listens, so that's amazing. That's crazy.
I was looking at that and I was like,
that's crazy.
Y'all care.
What the fuck? And we're just like two girls from Fontana who went to school. Two black girls. I mean, we're black. Oh my God.
You know? You said that like we didn't know. Like,
we're black.
Then I've been known.
We're so unrepresented. We're so unrepresented that it's like, thank you. You know, well, let's make a difference to where we're trusted in media and we don't have to be sassy and like issues to
and loud.
Get followers. Also, you guys, we're on YouTube. Watch us on YouTube. You're already on YouTube anyway. Just search Young and Getting It Podcast. There's no G at the end of Getting. Subscribe, comment on there. We're on GooglePlay. We're on Spotify. We're on Stitcher. We're on Pocket Casts.
Yeah, and you can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at YAGI_podcast. You could also go to our website where everything is linked there at www.weareyagip. And before I forget, visit our Facebook at facebook.com/YAGIPOD.
Yep.
And then, you know, if you want to talk to us or whatever, hit us up on our email, Ashleyandninapod@gmail.com, or text us, call us, leave us a voicemail at 323-486-3811. And shout out to Lady Harris _ESQ. She's the one who told me about the Go app, and it's like free workouts. They're like,
oh yeah,
you can pick a trainer. It's like 5-minute workouts to like an hour. That shit gets you sweated.
And Faith, who was just here too.
Oh yeah, Faithfulness.
That's a cool name.
His name is Faithfulness Uno. He thought we was gonna play him, but we didn't.
And if you listen to the end, Faith, look what happened.
Right, you got your shout out, boo.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we appreciate y'all.
Yes, episode 69 in the books. Peace.